Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm on time. Can you believe that? I'm on time. I'm doing pretty good. Welcome to my live. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is TitaniumBuilt or Tanya. Call me either or. I don't prefer one over the other. And that you made one. Fantastic. Ether's here. Okay, good. We've got a lot of updates. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on. So I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for some people to kind of jump on if they want to. As you come in, just grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a blanket like I did because I can't ever tell if I'm warm or if I'm cold. And just come in and just let's hang out. Let's just chill for the day for a couple hours or an hour or whatever we go, however long we go. And as we're going, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it in there, but the link in there. If anyone did want to come up throughout the live, you guys can come up and join me on panel if you wanted to. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, or if you don't get notifications, I've heard that some people aren't getting notifications. So what they're telling people, like I've heard on bigger channels anyway, is if you're not getting notifications, go unsubscribe and then subscribe again, and then click the bell icon. And then just make sure you're alerted to like all notifications. I guess sometimes it like kicks people off. I don't know. I thought that was all kinds of like bull crap. I used to think like before I had a YouTube channel, like really had like a bigger channel, like, not a huge channel, but, a bigger channel to where I had to think about things like that. I thought that was like a gimmick to get people to subscribe to your channel because I'm a salesperson at heart. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a gimmick. But it's not. I guess it's the truth. Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend. Hopefully. I've been wanting to try to figure out how to, I need to put like a logo up there somehow. But it'll probably be like too big. Yeah, I'll do it later. Because it would be kind of cute. I'm still getting used to all this stuff. So I've been trying, like, because some people, they use regular live on Facebook or YouTube. And so like I've noticed like sometimes you'll go into somebody's live, and if they're not using like StreamYard and they're using YouTube Live, like they'll have subscriber only like enabled on there. So where like you have to be a subscriber to even like comment on the post and stuff, which I don't need any of that. I don't want that. But I was just wondering, I was like, what is the difference? So I'm just starting to learn the differences. And look at my sweater today. Isn't this fun? This is like a fun sweater. I have it in black and pink as well. I was like, I'm going to wear something fun today. And we'll get into it here in just a minute. Hopefully some more people will pop in. I know that I think a couple other people were doing lives, but I don't think a whole lot of people were. Also, if you haven't joined our membership button and you would like to be a member of the channel, we would love to have you. You can join below, and you can do either Titan Tier 1 through Titan Tier 3. And I'm going to start doing just members only live videos, but we only have like a few members right now. So I don't want to start doing them, quite yet. But I think I might actually do one next week. I was going to decorate my room here for Christmas time. And then I was going to have like my members only, like, just like do a members only live and have you guys like kind of help me decorate or something. So if it's something you'll be interested in, you can join below. You can join any of the tiers below. If not, just give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, comment below. Those are all things that you can do that are free, and they really do help the channel grow. They really do. We do have a lot to go over today. Put more stickers in there. So that's what I've been trying to figure out how to do that. I don't know if it's when you use like regular, like YouTube Live, because I had to like manually put in like emojis. And I'm like, this has to be easier than like me having to like find them online and like get the code and put like do coding, like pretty much. Because I do that for my website. And I'm like, this is like, I don't know. So I think that that might be for regular lives. I'm looking into it, and I wrote YouTube. They wrote me back the other day, giving me directions on how to like do it, and that's how I was doing it. And I'm like, this seems like a lot harder. So I'm hopefully I can get some people to help me on that, because I know a couple other people that do it. But if you know how to do it, let me know, because I will get them in there for you guys, because I want to do those. They're really fun. I know there's like a couple in there right now, but I think maybe. But if you know how to do it, I will do it. Did you guys hear? I'll start with this last one actually first, because I don't have this one listed on our thing here. Actually, let's do something funny. Let's do something funny first. You want to do something funny first before we start talking about like, bad stuff? I do. I kind of want to do something funny. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and go right into it, because, I'm sure we all have something to do today. I don't really have too much, but I do have to run somewhere. Actually, I'm going to look it up online, or I'm going to look it up on my YouTube really quick. And before I start with this funny, because I'm going to do some some funny thing first. Okay. Before I start with the funny stuff first, this fell into my lap. I am not subscribed to this person's channel. I actually have talked about this person before and how I don't agree with what this person does and says and puts on the channel. And I'm going to let you know who it is, because I'm going to show you what he wrote. But it's You Back to Jeff. I don't agree with the whole having people donate to not a GoFundMe account, which I don't know if that's even secure, and have them donate all of this money and not get any results out of it. He says he has 26 private eyes working on the Kylie Rodney case, and that they're going to find all these things that they've been thinking of, that they're dreaming of in their mind. Well, last week we debunked. He said that Sammy was 24. He said it over and over again. Well, his private eye figured out she was 18, which you can do that with like a Google search. Like a background check maybe costs $15. So I only get upset with these things. Like, I don't get upset with people that have money that just like want to give him their money, whatever. But I know there's people out there that don't have the money. And that's what I was explaining last time, like that just give it to these people. And they're like, just for their comments to be read. They'll give them like, I saw it I brought it up on Bullhorn Betty's channel. A lady had $30. She said left. She's like, I have $35 left to feed my kids this week, but I'm going to give you $30 to read my comment. Like that stuff, like, I don't know. That just gets to me. It just, it gets me. It gets me like in my soul. Hi. So, and Private Eye's getting a tan in the Caribbean. You're right. So last week he got on there, his community post. He did a video. No, he didn't do a video on it, I don't believe. But he did a community post, because he can't even do a video on that, when he was pulling out videos left and right. And he said, she's not 24, she's 18. Yeah, well, we knew that. So then it gets better. This one is what he posted last night. And this comes onto my page. I wasn't on his page looking for this. It was under my community tab. And I was just like, oh, okay, then. I'm going to pause that. I got to go under his community tab. Okay. And before I read it to you, I'll bring it up more. But before I read this to you, I guess his next conspiracy was that wasn't Kylie's car going in the water that night, or there was a switcherooski. That was a different car. I mean, it's really like, if you have to think about it with some common sense, just some common sense. I'm not asking for a lot, just some common sense. Just think about it rationally, rationally, like, what are the chances? What are the chances? So then this is what he writes. We managed to investigate Kylie's car much further than, actually, let me see if I can pull it up bigger for you guys. But can you believe that? Yeah. Yeah. This is my crime scene now. Yeah. I'm like, I just can't believe it. So I was like, I'm gonna tell these guys tomorrow. I was like, I gotta tell my Titans tomorrow because it was getting really good. This guy, John Gibson, said, but are you gonna believe this creator? Because like it's, someone was like a 12-hour live, I could barely watch a 1 hour live. And he's like, but you're gonna believe this creator who wrote that he talked to the manufacturer of Honda who gave him info on a missing person case, a regular guy with no warrant, able to convince you people that he's got all this evidence, yet has never produced any, just talks in circles. And I was going to say, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate your life. But I didn't want to get banned again from his page. But he banned me, but he really didn't ban me because, like, there it was again. Hello, Gregory. How are you guys? Hi, Justice Jane. But yeah, so I was like, I think I'll have some light banter, light fun for a Sunday before, we talk about all kinds of bad stuff. Because, I mean, literally, that's that's common sense. We need to think of some good stuff. We need to come up with some big conspiracy. Like I can't think of stuff on my own. My brain don't work like that, but banter. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I've got a lot of stuff on here. Did you guys hear about the Club Q shootings last night in Colorado? Oh, I should leave a comment saying this is my crime scene. No, I just I just saw that right. Yeah, I should. He don't like me. I said I didn't say anything mean to him last time. He had that movie or that video doc. It was called "Sammy's a Criminal," and I basically said, "Oh, I watched it twice, but I can't seem to find where it says, how Sammy's a criminal." And yeah, he didn't like. He was like banned. I was like, "Whoa, dude, whoa!" Like I was like, "That's just like And these people, these creators, they kick people out of their lives for literally just like having a little bit of a difference of an opinion. And it's not like they're arguing in their chats. They're keeping it very civil, very kind, very like that they're actually making sense with where they're going with things. And I've seen creators just go, "You're blocked, you're out." And I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right. I wonder why they shot it up. Yeah, they didn't say that today on the news or when I was watching it. And I'm like, we know why it happened. But it was in Colorado Springs overnight. There was 18 injuries, 5 confirmed deaths, but the number they said may rise. The suspect is in custody at the hospital. This was a couple hours ago. He was being treated for his injuries. And I believe there's a press conference on it, but I think it's later today because they're a different time zone than us. But I was gonna see, I think I had something pulled up, so maybe not. Oh, I was gonna look it up on YouTube actually because I saw it on a video about it, and I was gonna show it to you guys. Denver channel. Let me see. Yeah. Oh yeah, this will be it. Super sad. Like, I mean, you can't go anywhere anymore without. You can't even just like go to a bar. I've been to gay bars in Columbus, and I'm not gay, but they're fun. They're always a good crowd, always like a positive crowd. It seems like, um, like I mean, people aren't like fighting. I don't see people fighting and stuff like I mean, like no one's really like underage in there. Like I mean, all the ones I've been to, they've just been more like higher class and like nicer. I don't know. Okay.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, rolling.
All right. I'm Lieutenant Pamela Castro at the Colorado Springs Police Department. I'm the Public Information Officer. It's with a heavy heart I have to tell you that we had a shooting at a local club this evening. Got initial phone call at about 11:57 in the evening that there was an active shooting at a local club known as Club Q. Numerous officers and medical immediately responded to the area, and officers immediately made entry. They did locate one individual who we believe to be the suspect inside. At this point in time, the investigation is in the very initial stages, but I can tell you that we have 18 injured and 5 deceased. That number is subject to change as the investigation continues. We had numerous people transported to multiple local hospitals via ambulance and police cruisers. The hospitals are helping us to notify family of the injured to let them know. The fire department was extremely active in this call, so I'll have their PIO speak to you guys here in just a minute. We will be having a news conference at 8 a.m. at the Police Operations Center later this morning, and hopefully I'll be able to give everybody some more information.
Suspect stopped? Was he stopped by a police officer? Did he or she give up? How did it end?
That's still part of the investigation.
Can you confirm the time and the name of the club?
Yeah, so 11:57 p.m. Is when we got the call. We did get numerous calls on this. And the name of the club is Club Q.
Captain Spondeo may be able to specify more, but can you give us an idea of the level of injury of the 18 survivors of the shooting? Are half of them critical or all of them critical, or do we know?
It varies. I only know of some of them, again, because they went to multiple different hospitals. Medical's first at every hospital is to treat them, but we do have officers at every hospital with all of the victims.
Where is the suspect right now?
The suspect is being treated at a local hospital.
So the suspect was injured as well?
Correct.
By your officers or by patrons who maybe took him or her down?
That's still part of the investigation.
Serious injuries? How would you describe his or her injuries?
I don't have that information.
Was the club about to close? Was this closing time 11:58, 12, or were they open later than that?
I don't know. Normally, closing time in Colorado Springs would be 2 a.m., but I don't know for this specific club.
Could you kind of take us through what's going to happen at least for the next sort of 24 hours here and beyond as best you can? I know it's early, but give us
No,
an idea
absolutely.
of
Thanks for that question. So moving forward, we have numerous homicide detectives on scene. They'll be processing the scene. Any vehicle that is in the scene will have to remain until that is fully processed. This scene is going to take some time to get through, so we will be here for many, many hours to come.
I'm sure there are a lot of family members or friends who are wondering if some of their relatives or friends were here. Is there a way for them to reach out to you or anybody else to find out about the status of their loved ones?
So anybody that we can, they are having with the hospitals help notify those individuals. Most of the parties who were here and uninjured have already been reunified with their loved ones. They can absolutely call the Colorado Springs Police Department if they aren't able to find their loved one, and we will work with them to hopefully reunify with them, and hopefully they've been uninjured.
Was this gang related? Was it a hate crime, or what sort of is this?
That would go to motive, and then all of that is still part of the investigation.
Can you give us an idea of, was it a rifle? Was it a handgun? Was it a revolver? Can you give us an idea what kind of weapon?
I can tell you firearm was involved, but I can't at this point in time tell you exactly what type of firearms were involved.
Just to be clear, has the suspect been arrested and charged at this point, or is just being treated at the hospital?
So in Colorado, charged would be through an arrest warrant or a probable cause affidavit. At this point in time, the suspect is being treated, but is in custody.
Well, what's going to happen to that person? They just, once they're released from the hospital, they're going to go straight to jail after that?
It will just depend a lot on what the investigation shows, and then extent of injuries as we move forward.
Do you have surveillance video of what happened from inside the club?
That will be part of the investigation. Is we would ask if anybody has cell phone video or a car is driving by on the road and has dash cam video, to please call the police department. We are very interested in that information. Additionally, if you were a witness and weren't interviewed already by an officer, please call the police department so that we can speak to you and get your statement about what happened this evening.
Was it a single shooter?
That'll be part of the investigation.
Has the families tried to see something notified, or it's still in the process?
It's still in the process.
Sunday, not a big commuter day, but should people expect Academy to be closed through tomorrow? Do you know how long this is going to last?
I don't have an exact time for how long Academy will be closed, but I would say avoid the area tomorrow morning as you go.
Any rough estimate on how busy the club was, or approximate number?
I don't have any of that.
Do you know how many officers are on scene? How many units were called out? Or anything like that?
There were officers when I looked, I believe, that responded from every patrol division in Colorado Springs. So we have 4 patrol divisions that cover the very large city, and patrol officers from every division responded. At the news conference at 8, I'll be able to give you those exact numbers.
Do you know which hospitals the injured have been sent to?
I do, but it's not something that we'll share at this time.
Tell us whether any of your officers are on any kind of leave as a result of their actions here tonight.
That's too early for that at this point. But this was not an officer-involved shooting.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm going to have Mike Smaldino, the FDPI.
Mike Smaldino, SMALDINO, Captain, Public Information Officer for the fire department. As Pam was saying, we did respond also. We had 34 firefighters that ended up being on the scene. And with the 34, we had 11 ambulances that did respond to the scene from AMR, from CSFD, and then also from county agencies that helped out in this. So this was definitely a collaborative effort with all of our partner agencies that we have here in the county. Unfortunately, these are events that we do train for as far as what we call a mass casualty. So that's why we had such a big response. But working with PD, we're able to get everybody transported out of here in a pretty quick manner and get them to the hospitals where they have definitely a better chance for their injuries. But
18 injured, but 11 ambulances. Were they doubling up?
Yeah.
Get everybody to the hospital?
Yep.
Is that
And
normal?
yeah, it is. So what we do is we call it basically we triage. And so we find out who are the worst, who can wait a little bit longer, and then who are kind of more of that we can double up or even triple up on some of those ambulances. And so in some cases, we did have a couple ambulances. It took 3 patients, and then other ambulances that were only able to take 1.
Do they spread out all the hospitals, or are they all taking Memorial, or where are they going?
Through the local hospitals here.
Were you guys first on scene? Sometimes you guys get here before police.
Actually, the police were on this one. We do have obviously stations that are right in this area, but we were pretty much right behind the police. We again we do train with them, and so they once they get to a point that's comfortable, they can call us in, and we actually have the ability to listen to their radio channel. So we're actually communicating directly with them. So there's no delay as far as that.
Did you have to rely on ambulances from Falcon and Whitefield?
I can give you. We did use Security, Fountain, Monument Fire, and Falcon Fire also responded. They didn't transport, but we did use those other agencies.
I think he's just kind of the guy that just tells you who was all there and what they did, because he was fireman. So, well, hello there, Miss Tammy. Oh, that sounds good. Breakfast quesadillas. I usually just eat bacon in the morning, maybe some toast. I'm not a big egg person anymore. I used to love eggs, but the older that I've gotten, like milkshakes, eggs, I'm not like lactose intolerant, but it just like makes my stomach hurt. So I try not to eat the eggs anymore, which sucks. But I can eat them in like food. Like if I make it with like, cake or something, that doesn't bother me. So I just wanted to show you that because I saw that this morning and I was like, oh my Lord, another shooting. But they do have the suspect in custody. He is at the hospital being treated, I guess, for injuries. So I'm assuming the injuries are from the officers. Just going to say that, and I don't know. It's just crazy. What was the second grader brought weed to school? A kid at my 9-year-old school made a shank from a broken phone case, cut a teacher. Whoa! And 2 kids and a second grader brought weed to school. Wow. So my nephew did something stupid one time. Stupid. But I'm going to give him a pass because he literally had lost 3 grandparents in like a year and a half or something crazy, like all of his grandparents. And then his grandfather, he had lost like 7 years prior, and they were thick as thieves. So he wasn't in the right mindset. And his sister went out and got him a new pellet gun. This pellet gun looked like a real gun. It was silver even. It wasn't black like those regular pellet guns. It was like silver and black. And it like didn't have the orange clip on the front like it's supposed to have. It had weight to it. I didn't even know about it. But long story short, my sister-in-law comes running in and I'm asleep on the couch because it was right after my mom had passed. And my brother was like, he didn't want me to be alone. And I told him I was fine, but he's like, no, I'm coming to get you. So I was like sleeping. It was like 9 a.m. when I can actually sleep in. And she runs in and she's like, have you seen a Michael Jordan like book bag? And I'm like, no, I know. And so apparently my nephew had taken that pellet gun to school to show his buddies because he wasn't thinking in his head that you cannot take a gun or a pellet gun, even if it's a pellet gun, to school. Oh my God. So I don't drink, but that day I did at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Danielle, my sister-in-law, was like, we're drinking. She was so stressed. So what ended up happening was his little friend had somehow snuck it out of the school and he didn't get in any trouble for it. It was one of those things. Thank you, Lord. It was a blessing. And he's out of school now, so they can't come back and get him for being, for it. Now he's like 21. So it was a long time ago. But it was just like, some kids are stupid when they do things, but then other kids are like stupid. But I know that, and this was like Chillicothe High School. That's where I'm from. I was from Chillicothe. And so it was the pretty big high school. And so I'm just like, Donovan. And so we took him to his friend's house, and his friend's dad gave him about a 45-minute lecture. And it was the best lecture I've ever heard a man tell another boy. He talked to him like a man. He sat him down. My brother was at work. He was like, we're not going to mess with your daddy about this right now. Like, I'm going to talk to you, and your dad can talk to you later when he gets home. Like, let him, be at work. But I'm like, are you stupid? But we had kids in our school. We had one kid punch the teacher in the class. And that was pretty funny. The guy kind of deserved it, but yeah, oh my gosh. My mom's B-Day's today. Oh, happy birthday, Mom. I was making chocolate malt cupcakes with peanut butter. Oh, buttercream frosting. Oh, yeah. No, you can always catch up. Go spend time with Mama. Oh my gosh. How old is she today? How old is she? I know I shouldn't ask a woman that, but. Hey, pretty Kay. Kids in America beat on their teacher all the time now. Yeah, this was something that you never saw. And like in my school, you never saw like people getting fights like at all. Like, and if it was a fight, it was like just like an argument. You know what I mean? It was like somebody throw a punch for gosh sakes or just walk away from each other. 67. Aw. Well, tell her happy birthday. That's so nice. It's her birthday today. What is today? The 20th? I think my aunt's birthday is actually coming up. It is. It's sometime in the 20s. I think it's 26th, 24th. I should tell her happy birthday because she can have my mom to do that. And my mom's not here to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My nephew, because when we got the little pellet gun back from his friend, he handed it to me, and it was in like a hat, like a winter hat. I'm just like, oh my God, it looks so bad. And it had like weight to it. And I was like, oh my Lord. I was like, you can't bring this to school. And he wasn't a troublemaker at all. And like, I'm just glad that he didn't get in trouble for it. Yeah. Happy birthday. Oh, that's cute. Let's see here. I didn't get a chance to make a little banner for them. And then I was going to talk about Shanquila Robinson. Did you guys get a chance to, I don't know if you guys have heard the story about Shanquilla, but it's devastating. I did 2 videos yesterday on it. I did a video yesterday afternoon that was more of a like timeline and more of like what happened. And then the second one I did was a video over what her dad talked about on TMZ. And I was going to show you that interview again. I mean, this guy's heart is ripping out of his chest. Basically, long story kind of short, because it's not really a long story to begin with. Shanquilla went to Cabo, Mexico with 6 of her friends. They all went down for vacation in a villa. They had a villa, they had the ocean, they had a private chef. Everything should have been going great. But instead, her friends decided to turn on her, beat her to death, then tell her parents that it was alcohol poisoning. When they do an autopsy, her family then figures out it wasn't. It was a broken back and like vertebrae and a broken neck, severed back and a broken neck. And her friends left her there and they flew home that next day. Not before asking her mom and dad, though, for $5,000 to take Shanquilla to the hospital because of that alcohol poisoning that she didn't have. They weren't going to take her. They needed money for some plane tickets to get the hell home is what I think. It's just crazy. Yeah, you watched it? Yeah. I told you guys the other night, if you find it and you watch it, it is sick. It's fucking sick. I'm going to say it like that because there's no other way to describe it. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I've watched ID channel. I've seen like crazy stuff on there and, you know, documentaries. But for some reason, seeing that girl, like I'll describe it for you. She's butt naked. And it's on the internet. And this girl is just beating her and she's not doing anything. She is not throwing a punch there. And then there's a guy videotaping it. Of course, there's a dude videotaping it, not doing a damn thing because he's a coward. And he's saying, aren't you going to fight? Aren't you going to fight back? Like, so she ends up, at the end of that video, she's still alive. So you don't see any, like, you don't see her pass in that video, but that same night she does. So it's like, what's going on? So yeah, the tequila really, yeah. I mean, like, so they were like, yeah, they were saying she had alcohol poisoning. And so, and even in my video, I was like, well, as a parent, I would say, well, yeah, that sounds right. Because they tell you in Mexico, like, don't drink the water and stuff. So if you're drinking like alcohol that's made from there, it has to have water in it from there, right? So like, that's what I was thinking. And so I was like, well, maybe like, you know, it could have been that. And then, I mean, I really knew in my head it wasn't because I watched the video prior to making my video on it. I didn't add that video into mine because out of respect to her and her family, but it's on Instagram even, like under her name. Like my boyfriend, he watched it last night and he doesn't like, he's not physical. He doesn't even know the concept of being physical with somebody else, like at all, And he watched it and I think he understands why I do what I do now. You know what I mean? Like he understands why I'm like, I was right on that story. And I like the next morning I was like, I wrote up like, I don't know, 20 pages or something to do, you know, like a timeline on it and stuff. And I was like, I got to tell this story because I saw it on Cinema Shogun on his channel. And other than him, I've only seen like 1 or 2 other creators that I've never even heard of before talk about this case. And it's like, why not? She's gorgeous. I'll have to show you a picture of her too. Let me see. Let me see where that one is. This one here. I'll share this one with you. This is her. Like, beautiful. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, she had a broken, like, and the thing is, if they killed her, like, okay, so I wish they wouldn't have killed her, but at least they kind of, at least there was physical injury to her to where they can't just say it was alcohol poisoning and her family doesn't get justice for this. Like, this is something that you can't kind of come back from. You can't beat around. You cannot, come back from that one. It's on tape. It's on video. And then I heard there's even a second video, but I haven't seen that one yet. I've seen her video of her walking around the house, at the villa, like saying their names or something, but I haven't seen anything else. So I will show you this one here. And let me know if you have trouble hearing or anything, because like, looks like my internet's being a little weird. So. Oh yeah, Plunder did. She did one, I think yesterday maybe. I think the same day I did, actually. I think you're right. This one is just like her daddy. Oh my God, her daddy. Like, when I saw this, I was like, I just show people. Like, I mean, this guy, if you can't get justice for this man, like, this man deserves justice for his.
Hey ladies, we are giving out free Dove samples.
Sorry,
just
guys.
fill out our quick 2-minute survey and we'll ship it right to your.
Okay.
It was they attacked her, ma'am. It wasn't no physical. They attacked her, ma'am.
It's not very long.
It seemed like from my daughter was asleep, ma'am. For all them to be in that room, and then they come in there like, I don't know, she woke up or whatever, the way it seemed like they attacked her, ma'am. And she naked, ma'am. For a father to see that video, ma'am, because my daughter's not a fighter, ma'am. She's not a fighter, not at all. For them to do what they did, ma'am, it just seemed like it was a plot, because they couldn't have did that over here, ma'am. They couldn't have did that over here, where her friends, all her friends are. It wouldn't have went down like that, ma'am. They don't realize, what they done done, ma'am. They just robbed, they just put a hole in my heart, ma'am. That was my only child. I'm just heartbroken, man. I can't even be a granddaddy. Can't even walk down the aisle, man. Can't even hear a voice. Can't even say daddy. Mom, can't even say daddy. Can't even hear say grandma. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know what this done to me. Just don't know, ma'am. You just don't know. Just don't know. Just don't know. I thought she'll be burying me. Not me burying her.
What do you hope happens in this situation when it comes to getting justice for your girl?
They get charged for it, ma'am. And they go back over there and do the time, because that's where they did the crime at. And they left her there, ma'am. They left her in that house, ma'am. They left her there for the maids to find her. Don't you know how much the pain my daughter suffered for the injuries, that she took? She was smaller frame, man. For them to sit there and try to get her no help or nothing. I just want justice, man. I'm just angry, hurt, sad, all in one, man. All in one. And I've been dealing with this from day one when I got the phone call saying that she had passed, man.
When you say you want them to, of course you want them to be arrested and to serve, but life sentence, is that what you think that they should face?
Yes. They took a life, ma'am. They took a life.
I just feel for him. Like I felt like when I saw that, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, and I know like a lot of people put stuff on the internet like that. I guess I just don't watch it. And I grew up watching like UFC fighting, like ultimate fighting, like back before it was even called MMA and all that other crap. Like my dad had me on the couch at 16. I'm 37. I had to think about it for a minute. I'm 37 now. Oh, I lost my other shoe. But yeah, so I'm used to seeing people like, that happening, but not like that. I don't know. That was just something different. Hi, Amanda. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad. I have a ton of old videos too. I need to watch some of them old ones because I bet some of them are funny. If she had lived there, probably be a good chance she would have been Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, if she would have survived that, she probably, I don't even want to know, you know? And she, like, to go somewhere with your friends, like they're supposed to be your friends. And then you don't even make it a whole night. Like, and this happens. I'm gonna try to go back through your comments real quick, but yeah, it was just bad. That video was really bad. Yeah, no, yeah. If this was 40 years ago, my mom used to say I should have been a housewife in the 50s because I'm old fashioned. This wouldn't have happened because women would have been a little bit more ladylike and men would have stepped in. Both of them, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to put your hands on somebody to get your point across. And like, it's just, why put your hands on someone? And then I think like the other video I think is going to surface is the other female that was there. So she got beat up, you know, whatever, during the day. It was like it looked like the sunrise or something, morning time. Well, then that other girl, I guess that was with them, took it amongst herself. She's the one that did like the final blow. I want to say Donovan is her last name or something. I think she is the one that did the final, but they think that all of them need to go back to Mexico because that's where they did the crime and that's where they need to pay and do their time. So that's going to suck for them. The USA has a homicide rate of 4.4 per 100,000. Oh, wow. And it's risen to 6.5. I can see that. But at least with the mafia, it was sort of like controlled. That's sad to say, but you know what I mean? Like here, I just feel like it's like the Wild Wild West. Everyone's just running around. I mean, it's nuts. Like you can't say that you're going to take a day off and be in true crime. Like I was watching another creator. She does like MLM and stuff like that, schemes and like scams and stuff like that. And she said with her channel, when she like grew and got a lot more subscribers, which is way more than me. But she said she was like, I take a day and a half off a week off of YouTube. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. A day and a half. I could do that. I don't think I've done that since I've started in August. I don't think I've taken one day off really. Because I'm always, if I'm not, I mean, I haven't taken one day off. If I'm not on here, I'm like on my iPad, which is like right there, or I'm on the computer trying to figure some stuff out. And I will keep you updated on her case. There's no updates as of right now. I looked it up. There was no more updates on the Club Q shootings. There was no like pictures of the victims yet or the perpetrator. So we can go ahead and move kind of on. And then let me see. What's this? I was going to see. I thought it was on here. Thought I had it. I guess I don't. Let me see if I have. I don't have a banner for him either. So, Chatham County put out a press release, or not a press release. I thought it was on their Twitter, but I'm not seeing it now. But they did say that they are going to search the landfill until December the 9th, I believe. And then they are going to reevaluate kind of everything that's going on. And they're going to see what they're going to do from there. I don't know who leaked that video, but it had to have been one of the people there. You would think, unless one of the people there was stupid enough to send it to somebody. You know, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Because I don't think the police or anything have their phones or anything. And they're like at home and everything. They're just like chilling. They're just hanging out. Like not being arrested or anything. Hi, Tomboy Charm. Yeah, it might have been. I can't remember where I saw that, but they did say that they were going to go the 9th and regroup. They had a candlelight vigil the other night, and they said that they are going. So the protesters and stuff, they kind of some people stuck around at the end, and protesters said that they are going to go protest again. I don't think out. Maybe not outside the home as much, but they are going to go back down to the jail or wherever they want to go to protest. I think that it's time for them to regroup in a way, like for the officers to kind of step back. I mean, as hard as it is to say that, like, because we all think that that's where he is at, and he probably is there, but maybe they do need to like regroup for a second and just like think. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe something will, come to mind. I know that's all they've been thinking about for like since October 5th, but I'm sure that sometimes you just need to regroup. Maybe they can bring some more people in. Oh, I didn't tell you guys either. I don't know if I told you, but the FBI is involved with that Club Q case too. They're already in there because that lady wasn't speaking very well. I did notice that. And then let me see. We can go to Debbie Collier. We have so many updates. I'm going to be talking about them like more than just Pride today, but it's just like, oh my gosh. It's 99% nut. Well, that's not good. That's not an avocado then. Maybe there'll be a squirrel outside. That's funny. Actually, Debbie, let me see. Okay. So, what do you guys think about like the Quinton Simon case? Do you think they need to regroup, or do you think they should keep looking? Do you think they should just go arrest Leilani by now? Like just go arrest her? I mean, she did say she was with him last. He left from her house. I mean, I don't know. The only thing that I think is saving her ass right now is that she said he walked out, the door was open, and he walked out the door. She never said she did it. She said if she did it, she would turn herself in. She never said she did it. So I think that's why they can't really go and get her right this minute. And maybe that's why they're still trying to search landfill still, which I don't know. I wish they could. I don't know. There's just so, I mean, it's sad to say, like, trigger warning, but it's a baby in a landfill, and he's so little. He's so little. Tammy said I absolutely do not believe baby Q was ever in the landfill. Not sure what they were going for with that BS, but I do believe it was kind of like, yeah, watch my right hand while my left hand is shady. Yeah, really. So maybe like this regrouping, maybe they will, think of something else. Or how far could she have went? Really? I don't think she went that far. Like even when people said that she put him in the dumpster, I thought they meant like outside of her house, like her dumpster, like her trash. I didn't know they meant she like drove somewhere to a trailer park and did it. Because when they called the babysitter and they said they didn't need her at 5:45 in the morning, by like 8 or 9, she was over there. And Danny saw the baby at 6 o'clock before he left. And if she didn't wake up till 9 o'clock, just say she didn't wake up till 9 o'clock, and the babysitter was there at like 9 o'clock, then where would she have like been able to go with that baby? You know what I mean? Like where possibly? Because she had like went. And how good did they check that house? Like how good did they check that house? Because I have seen where there have been like hidden doors and hidden traps and hidden everything in people's homes, People are getting away with everything nowadays. Like, shit. Yeah, I think it was too. But see, I thought that she used her own dumpster because it was leaving that day. That's why I thought it was like it was leaving. Like she thought she knew it was leaving at a certain time that morning. like before the babysitter would come over or you know what I mean? Like right before she came over, I thought maybe she did something like that. But I don't know. Yeah, Casey Anthony. It's just, yeah, Harmony Montgomery. Yeah. Exactly. That's your responsibility. You have a child. It's nobody's responsibility but your child. It's yours. So you need to be responsible for that child. And I'm so sick of them. Like, I don't like Billy Joel at all. I don't like her. But I'm so sick of like people just pushing their kids off on their grandparents on the grandparents. Like, it's like kids my age, like my 30s. That happened a lot. Like my parents were together, thank God. But I know a lot of people whose grandparents had to come and like take care of them. And it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, if you're going to be able to lay down with somebody and have a child, then take care of it. Don't have another one either. And another one. Don't do that. Because that happens too often also. Well, obviously, because she has 3 and she didn't have custody of any. 3, you have, I can't even explain it. I can't even, me. See, I do believe that Danny's innocent. I believe he got the heck out of there. Like, I think I said that in my first video about it. I was like, I think he got the hell out of Dodge. Like, he's like, bye. You're not worth it. In the old days, kids used to look after themselves. I know I did when I was probably 11 or 12. And it was only like a couple hours or a few hours after school. But we also had a sheriff and like a statey that lived on either side of us. And then like a statey that lived around our corner. So we were pretty, we were pretty safe, I felt like. My parents felt like that too. And we were from Philadelphia and we moved to a small town that had like no crime at the time. So we felt like we left our doors unlocked growing up. We never locked our doors. I don't think we started locking our doors until, which is weird, after 9/11. That's when we started locking our doors. It was probably about around that time. We just never did. She parented as she was. Yeah, she did. She parented as she was parented, or like as she was brought up too. Yeah, and like see, and that does. I mean, it how you're brought up is how you're going to kind of be when you get older. As much as you don't want to be like your mom, or or your dad or something, I still feel like there's always a trait you're going to end up having from them. Have I had a Philly cheesesteak? Oh, yeah. My parents actually moved to Ohio to start a Philly cheesesteak business. And then they just never did. And then, what was that? Charlie's came in. That Charlie's, it's like really crappy cheesesteaks. Like they're not even right. And my mom and dad just never did. They I think they got like discouraged or something. But I wish they would have, because they would have been really good. Hoagies, they have the best pizza. The best pizza. But I do love the food out there. Oh, and thanks for talking about my sweater, Tammy. I heard that earlier. I think it was Tammy or Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly, I think it was. I was going to tell her I had it in black and pink too. I used to work at a store and I thought these were so fun. I was like, these are so fun. Okay, so we don't have anything on the Quinton Simon case other than that. In Ohio, they just eat corn, don't they? We do eat a lot of corn. We have a lot of corn here, but actually I believe like only 10% of it is edible. The rest of it is just for like grain and for the whole, like for cattle and stuff like that to eat, which I didn't know that until like recently. I think the only thing that we really eat here is like the Silver Queen or something like that. Corn. I know. Sad I know that much about corn. I don't really know that much, but I have a little bit of stuff. I just know a little bit about everything. I don't know. I think that he knew that maybe like they would end up taking her. I don't know. I just think that he just got out of there. I don't know why. He probably should have taken everything that he could have and everybody that he could have. Not Billy or Leilani, but Yeah, I don't know why. I think that he just ran. Didn't he go to his mom's? I think he just ran to his mom. Like, what else are you going to do? When you're in that, I mean, I don't know what to do in that situation. If I was in that situation, just think about it. If you were Danny and you're innocent, think about that. That back door was open from 2:40, something like that, 2:40 a.m. to 5:45 a.m. So I think that's when something happened to him. And if that's the case, Danny saw him at 6 a.m. in the pack and play, sleeping. And if that's the case, then he didn't see him sleeping. If you see where I'm going with it, just imagine what he's thinking. If he's maybe having flashbacks, trying to think, was he alive? Was he unalive? Was he, was he okay when I saw him? Did he look okay? I mean, that's what I would be doing. I would be going through the motions like, oh my God. And then you have to think about, he had a baby with Leilani. They had to have been pretty close at one point to do that. And like, you're like, oh my, and you're involved. Like, I don't know. I would just be like, I would have been running a long time ago. I'm always told in Idaho, all we eat are potatoes. I love potatoes. Oh, I love corn on the cob too. I do love corn. We do eat a lot of corn in Ohio. We do actually. My boyfriend eats a lot of corn. Like when we go out, like he'll eat it and like he's Asian. He'll get it in like his meals like that, like stuff. But I think he eats even more than me. Let's see. Any more updates? Well, I know we have more updates, but did we talk about? Yeah, did we talk about Debbie? We did, yeah. I'm like, wait, I'm off track here because I'm going from like the bottom up. Let's see, actually. That's what I was gonna show you next was Debbie. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the Debbie Collier ruling? Have you guys seen it where they ruled her death and a suicide? I think I'm gonna put together I want to put together like a list of all the things that she bought and see how they could have been used to do that because it's crazy. Did you hear about that Alaskan killer who kidnapped a girl, killed her, and then collected her ransom by stitching her eyes open with a fishing line and posing her with a current newspaper? Was that an old case? Or is that new? It is. It's one of the most, and my friend just moved there with her husband, and they're like 8 kids or 6 kids or something, but they have like a beautiful house. They love it. Man. So my aunt, her name is Dreama. I haven't seen her in years. I mean, years and years, but she's eccentric, very eccentric, very eccentric. She said that corn in a can in a corn, like corn in a can, right? It gave her a morphine type effect when she would eat it. Mom told me that, and I said, "Where's the corn?" I said, "Where's the corn?" I'm like, your sister's nuts. So we think she really is nuts because we're like, corn gives you a morphine type effect. Okay, well, not us. Oh, in 2012, it sounds familiar, but the guy was called Israel Keys. Oh yeah, okay, I know Israel Keys. I didn't know that because he took her from the she was working at that little coffee stand. Yeah. Well, I know one of his victims anyway, where she was very young. She was working at a coffee stand, I believe. But I didn't know that he stitched her eyes open for some reason. And I've even seen interviews with him. But I didn't know that. Oof. Like that, and it's scary because remember, it was caught on video too. It shows a video of him and he's climbing through the window. And she's just in that little like cube. It's like nothing. It's not big at all. Oh, I bet there is a picture online. You can find anything online, I feel like. I was going to show you this about Debbie. And then we can talk about it, or we can just kind of move on from there. But I'll show you this real quick. Where is it? There it is. And then we'll just watch this really quick. I don't think it's that long. It's only like 6 minutes. So
You've come out and said that you believe it was suicide, correct?
Yes. No one saw her that day prior on Friday. There were actions. My mom was like giving away things that, now looking back on, I'm like, well, that was weird. Even when I seen her Friday, because we hadn't seen each other in a minute, I saw tears in her eyes. I'd never seen her that sad.
That's Amanda Bearden. She is the daughter of Debbie Collier, the Georgia mom who was found dead in the woods, her body partially naked, partially burnt on a Saturday afternoon, went missing like an hour north of her home after stopping off at a Family Dollar store. Well, take a look. Her daughter believed that she died by suicide, and now we've gotten this information from the Habersham County Sheriff's Office. A detailed examination of all gathered information has enabled investigators to determine, based on factual evidence and data, that Mrs. Collier's death was self-inflicted. Furthermore, the GBI Medical Examiner's Office has determined that the cause of death was inhalation of superheated gases, thermal injuries, and hydrocodone intoxication, and that the manner of death was suicide. Unexpected, shocking, based upon the bizarre nature of everything that happened that day, including, remember that money she sent to her daughter with the cryptic message. Still with us, death investigator, forensic criminologist, Dr. Laura Petler, and joining me by phone now in Clarksville, Georgia, reporter and publisher for NowHabersham.com, Joy Purcell, who was breaking this news. Joy, so break it down for us. Is this the final determination? Is this investigation over?
To the best of our knowledge, Vinny, yes. The conclusion that this was a suicide is firm in the mind of the coroner's office, and of course the sheriff's investigators who released the information this afternoon. We've been given no indication that they're looking further into this matter.
And have you heard any reaction from any family member, anyone connected to Debbie? Have they responded or reacted to this determination? Have you seen or heard?
No, not since this was released. We broke this news yesterday when the report came out, the autopsy and toxicology reports, and reached out to Debbie's son, Jeffrey Bearden, who has been very vocal in his criticism of how this investigation has been handled. But Jeffrey has not responded to our request for comment. But this has been, as you can imagine, an extremely trying time for the family. And one thing I'd like to mention here that Jeffrey shared with me when I spoke with him prior to these most recent events, Debbie had a brother who was murdered at the end. So her family has gone through a similar situation, and this is just one more trauma on top of that, which has, for them, just accentuated the grief and brought back some terrible memories for them. And so I've not heard directly from Jeffrey. Amanda, as you shared, has spoken out publicly, and even before these results were released yesterday by the state medical examiner's office, she had already gone public and said that she believed that her mother committed suicide.
Dr. Laura Petler, inhalation of superheated gases, thermal injuries, and hydrocodone intoxication. Explain that.
So, when people are around a fire or when they're around something that's burning, that's giving off those noxious type gases, of course, the inhalation is a huge problem for the human body, and it can cause the cessation of life. Typically in homicide, of course, the fire is used as a precautionary act to cover up a homicide. In this case, they're saying the manner of death is now ruled suicide based on what they're calling examination, as opposed to analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, which I think is important when you have an unequivocal death like this, where there's obviously a lot of people who are going to say, no, this is more consistent with a different manner of death, potentially homicide versus suicide. So the gases, the cause of death is one piece of the pie. There are several pieces of the pie that not only have to be examined, or another word for that would be analyzed, but they also have to be synthesized and evaluated in totality of all of the evidence, specifically tested against the victimology of Debbie Collier.
Let me ask you, we have about 30 seconds here. How unusual is this?
Fairly unusual. However, suicide is very impulsive sometimes. It's a misnomer that people think it always occurs during a major depressive episode. That's untrue. It can also occur during a manic episode, or very, very spontaneously and impulsively. There's plenty of research to support that, Vinny, in the science. So it's just a very tragic and unfortunate, sad situation for the Collier family.
Yeah, extremely tragic.
Then here, she didn't look manic though in those videos, like that video of her at the Dollar Tree or the Family Dollar. She does not look manic. I just don't get this. I really don't, guys.
Tragic. And again, folks, Debbie Collier, it appears, died by suicide. The investigation is over. Despite the way this whole thing started, unusual circumstances, and investigators initially saying this was a targeted attack, but clearly they've come to a much different.
So, yeah, suicide. That's what they're saying. I was like reading your stuff, but yeah, no, okay, so how many hydrocodone, how many, what are those, Vicodin? How many Vicodin did she have on her? Okay. First off, because you're going to have to take a whole lot of Vicodin for that to be a cause of death, like an OD, like a whole lot. I'm pretty sure, like a whole lot. And then inhalation of like the fumes or whatever, the gases. I don't know if they're talking about like gases, like she got a gas can and that kind of gas, or if they're talking about that little lighter she had. Because when you go to Family Dollar and buy anything, like a lighter, it doesn't have it all the way full of fluid. That's why they can give it to you for cheaper than if you go to like Target and buy, like, the one at Target, it's like full of fluid. Like, I just don't get that. Like, and then you have one kid saying, Amanda was not saying that this was the S word, suicide. She was not saying that it was for the longest time. Up until that interview, that's when she started saying it. But before it was, my mother would never do this. My mother would never do this. She never even talked about her mom having tears in her eyes on all that stuff until that interview. There's just a lot of stuff that is contradictory. So yeah, me too, Amanda. I'm having a hard time, like for real. So I think I'm going to, because I have a folder, I print out all of my like pre-recordeds, and I print out like all my notes, and I'm going to print out those today because I want to see everything that she bought at the Dollar Tree again and how all that could contribute to her. Women aren't likely to do this. Naked and partially nude on fire. And like, I just don't get it. The inhalation, I don't get any of that. Like maybe the OD by pills, like, okay, that sounds like maybe something, but why go to the Dollar Tree? First off, she was a modest woman. She knew how to dress. She was a manager of a realty business. She knew how to dress. The woman did. I don't think she would have wanted to go out in her Bulldog uniform. I know she was a great, great fan. I'm a great Eagles fan. I love the Eagles. Love them. But you are not going to see me buried in no Eagles jersey. I love them, but I don't love them that much. You know what I mean? So if I was going to go like do that to myself, I would not. I don't know. I would want to be in something that women usually want to be like presented, like presentable. They don't want people to have to like clean up after them or, get dirty because of them, or, that's just how women are. That's how we are. So I don't know. I am gonna. I just wanted to go over that and let you guys know that it was ruled a suicide. And this I looked at the statistics, and it's like 1% or something crazy. So I'm gonna look up more because I think the statistics I was looking at were in Canada. So I want to get the U.S. And then I wanted to talk about the Idaho 4, of course. There is going to be a press conference today over the University of Idaho, like the killings of the 4 young adults. But I do have a couple updates. Let me see. So let me see what I have on here. If I have anything up here for you guys to look at. Yeah, this one here. I wanted to show you. This came out 15 hours ago. Let's see. I can read it to you guys real quick. Because it's on their Twitter page. Oh. Yeah. It's just bad. It's just so bad. So let me see if I can find the house. Okay, this is the back. I couldn't find the side, but this is going to probably have to do for us. I'm going to try to explain it as much as I can. Can I get this bigger? Okay. Okay, so this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Should be good. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. It's so crazy. Okay. I think it's because I removed myself from the stream. So I'll just have to leave me up there. But so like right here, this is it almost I wanted to try to get the side because there's a better picture. Let me see if I can find it. I know Reddit had some stuff. I think that I don't want to hear that. I won't be able to find it fast. That's okay. So the roommates are basically down like in this area, the ones that survived, and then everything that happened more like back in this area. And if like you're facing the other side of the house, it's kind of hard to explain. Sorry guys, I'll have to get you a better visual of the side. But if you look at it, it like almost looks like it's two homes in one, where I could totally see where the roommates didn't hear anything. I think what it is I've been in a lot of those kind of houses where they're built like that, like college houses, and they're built like brick houses. I mean, they're like underneath that like crappy, stuff is usually like cinder blocks and stuff, like where it's pretty thick. I think they just, I don't know. They even said that like, so even the person that owns the house, like the landlord, she said that she's even walked in there before and they haven't even heard her come in before. Like she's just been walking around the house. But I don't know. I mean, that's true. How would you not hear it? You would think that unless it was such a like blitz attack to where because they all had a wound to the chest area that was fatal. So maybe the fatal wound was first and then the other wounds were after. But I know that some people had defensive wounds on them. So they had to have been, but they might not have been screaming. They might have just been putting up a fight and not trying to scream. You know what I mean? To save themselves, like save that energy. I don't know. It's just so sad. It really is. Let me see what else I had on this. They are going to do, so that's the update that they had, but they are going to do a press conference today. I can't remember what time it is, but I thought about coming back and streaming it because I have to run to the store. Let me see what else I have. I think that's really all. I think that they came in the back door, that back sliding door. I think that's the way he came in, and he got Ethan and Zaina first, and then he went up to the third floor. And then I think he left. Then he left. Unless he went to the third floor first, but I would think that he'd want to, if he saw Ethan or knew Ethan was in the house, I would think that the person that did this would want to take Ethan out first. Because like that's like the strongest person, you know what I mean? And then Zaina, I would believe that she'd be like the next, because they would be together, of course. Everybody, don't forget to like the video and all that good stuff. I think I am going to come on live later, and I'm going to look up some stuff because I want some more details into everything. And then if not, we can go sleuthing together. I've just been so sleepy today. Guess it depends on the wall thickness. Yeah, and I guess they said they sleep with like the fan on and stuff, and sometimes they have like headphones on or music playing, and they said a lot of times they'll hear noise, but they just don't think anything about it. They think it's just them, just having people over. And if you notice in the TikTok, a lot of people have been showing the TikToks of the girls and stuff. You notice that one of them is acting like Zaina, and she's like, "Oh, can I just have a party? It'll just be like a few people over." So she's kind of like known, to have like some people over and have a good time. So maybe they did hear something, but they just thought it was like them just like, being loud. I don't know. I know that when my boyfriend stayed in like a house like that, it was like there was a back way to come in, and we would come in the back way, and I never heard his roommates, like ever. And he had like them above us, around us. I never heard them though. So yeah. Right. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. My ear's been bothering me today, y'all. I'm like, sorry, I've been rubbing at it. Can you imagine the sheer terror? Yeah. Like I couldn't imagine I think that Maddie would have protected Kaylee a little bit, and Kaylee would have protected Maddie. I think they both would have been. They were such good friends, and Ethan and Zaina, of course, they were together. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, but I couldn't imagine. I can't imagine being in the families right now. It's just, their families are just going through it, and they were gorgeous kids. I should have put their picture up. I don't know why I didn't do that. I was better on this last time. But I think that I am going to jump off here. I want to see when the press conference is. And then let me see if I can find it. Or actually, let me see if there's any update on Facebook or anything. No, it looks like it's still the 16 hours ago, the same update. And let me see. We went through Quinton. Quinton's, they're going to go December 9th. Like I said, they're going to go reevaluate that case and see what's going on. Debbie's case is considered a suicide. I'm going to say that I'm going to have to deal with that, but I do want to at least come and bring some just all the evidence together one more time and just go through it and be like, how did you get there? Because it's just a little weird. And then of course we just went over the Idaho fort and Shanquila Robinson. We went through her case earlier. So 3 p.m. Moscow time. Okay. So that would be 6 p.m. here because I'm Eastern Standard. Okay. So it'd be 6. Okay. Yeah, I could probably come back one. All righty. Well, I'm going to write that down just so I don't forget. And I'll double check and make sure too. Because I think that Moscow is. I think because we streamed one of the other press conferences. 6 p.m. Virginia. Okay. I'm Ohio. So yeah. All righty. Well, I will be back on then probably around 6. If I don't come back on, I will do at least a video, going over the press conference. But I'll probably come back on for you guys. That ain't a problem. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. I really appreciate you guys so much. I really do. I'm just going to go and enjoy this weather because it's 9 degrees out. Oh my gosh, I need to get a hat. My ear, since I've had that surgery on my ear, it's been throbbing when I go outside. So you just moved out of here from Ohio a year ago. Oh, look at that. We have some Ohio people in here a little bit, and then people that's moved. But yeah, we are neighbors though. All righty. Well, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys later on. Bye, guys.